Hi everybody, we're Rob and Leslie Hildebrand.
Welcome to the Château de la Grifferaie.
3 years ago, we sold or mortgaged everything we had to buy this beautiful chateau.
With the hope that we could create a special place of learning for young people to learn about their world and themselves.
It's been an amazing adventure so far, with so much more to come.
So come along with us as we wake this sleeping beauty and restore her to her former glory.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? It's your old friend Rob. Now, Leslie will be in this episode. She will be. Boy, it's been a busy summer, eh? It's been a busy term for us. But we're back. It's been 2 weeks since the students left. You remember the last video? Man, we loved them. They're a great group, and then off they go. Now, a couple days later, we had some more folks come. It's nice. A lot of our friends are like, oh, you should make sure, relax now. You had like whatever, 6 or 8 weeks or a couple months of really busy. But no rest for the wicked. It's straight back to work. Now, it's interesting how this whole thing came together. Quite a few months ago, when my school was closing, Multnomah, and we were losing, my position was getting shut down. And so I was losing that, and we were thinking, I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, well, how are we going to support ourselves? Because as you know, we were supporting ourselves with my university faculty salary. So then we got a really nice call from a couple friends, Ian and Barb Angel, who are old Briarcrest friends from back in the day, really nice folks. Now they were a bit older than us at the school, and so we didn't hang out back in the day, but we certainly knew them, and our families knew each other, and they're good guys. And so Ian has been teaching in the MBA program at Trinity Western University in British Columbia. They have a really strong program. I think he said they have something like 25 faculty in that one major, and so they were thinking about taking a trip out to France and wondered about coming and staying. And normally we don't do that kind of thing. We're not really interested in becoming a bed and breakfast or a retreat center. That's not really how we want to spend our lives, to be honest. But Trinity Western, great school, and also very much in line with our mission. They're kind of a Christian university. The MBA program is open to all kinds of folks from around the world. It's not necessarily just to Christian students. But certainly the mission of the school is similar to ours. And then honestly, I was nervous for our organization because Leslie and I have been sort of propping up, I don't want to say propping up the first couple of years financially, our nonprofit in the States. And so, well, we're on a visitor visa. We can't get paid and we're not getting any money from this, but they could make a payment to the nonprofit organization. So that was good, and I was a little bit nervous. So we said yes, even though we only had 3 days between. So I knew we were going to be tired. And sure enough, we are tired, but it's gone, I think, fairly well.
Okay.
It's been a learning experience for us because usually our groups mostly come from Canada and America, and so they have kind of similar expectations in terms of living quarters and food and things like that, dietary requirements. And usually they're 18 to 25. These guys are MBA students, business administration master students. So they're a little bit older, and they come from all over the place. I think we have 5 or 6 from India, one from Pakistan, one from Indonesia, 4 from China, 2 from Canada, and maybe 1 from Myanmar, and then perhaps some others too. So it's really a very diverse, a globally diverse group, which has been cool. The best part by far has been hanging out with our friends Ian and Barb and their colleague Jeanette, who's also, she got out there and did some weeding even, God love her. And so those guys are teaching the classes, but just in the off time, we've had a lot of fun just having conversations with them. But the second best thing about the trip has been sitting around the table sometimes and hearing about people's lives. Like, what's your country like? What's your experience like? Why did you go to Canada? Et cetera, et cetera. And that is, that's the way to grow when you meet people that come from a different background as you, and you get to hear their story. But it's not without its challenges, right? Because you all have different expectations. So for Leslie and I, the biggest challenge has been cooking. We decided that we offered to do the cooking for 2 weeks, which is, of course, a lot of work. And it's fun for me. I'm the GA this week, the last couple of weeks. So usually we have GAs, graduate assistants, who do the dishes, and they do a lot of our practical tasks to help. They're not here. So it's me doing that. And Leslie and our good friend Kathy came out to help us cook. That has been super great to have her here. And so those guys have been cooking all week. Hard working ladies. Hard working.
Yeah.
Best part, worst part so far.
Oh dear.
Okay, so let's ignore that, delete that.
The best part is being with Leslie.
Oh, there we go.
So happy Kathy's here to help me out. Oh my
Oh, we
goodness.
are so thankful.
So
It's
thankful.
fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's us and Mr. Bingley, our mascot.
Oh, Mr. Bingley.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Happily in his little baby carriage.
Yeah.
He's a lover.
Yeah.
Good news, dishwasher working great. And so for this whole week, I'm doing the job of the GAs, Leslie and Kathy cooking hard, and I'm doing the GA job, and so I'm doing all the dishes. Yeah. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of enjoy it. There are worse jobs than doing dishes. I started off as a dishwasher when I was young, and I loved it. And I don't like waking up early, and I'm not a big fan of that. But there's worse jobs. Now, cooking for a multinational group is challenging because you have different dietary requirements. Some of the guys don't eat red meat at all, like quite a few of them, maybe 5 or 6 of them. Some of them will two are vegetarians. Some will only eat chicken. Some will eat chicken or red meat if it's halal or if it has, certain dietary things. What else do we have? There's just a number of different preferences and requirements, dietary. So it's been cooking's been a challenge, but I think we've found a way through, and we've tried to get everybody food, and there it is. No, you only need 18.
Are you sure?
Go count.
It will interest you.
It's time for some pizza oven. Let's see what we got for temperature. Yeah, 800. Oh, yeah, that's great. That is great. That's gonna do nice. Let's pop this guy in. This is pretty heavy pizza, so hopefully it'll shake off. Oh yeah, it's gonna. Look at that. We're getting better. You make the smaller pizza with the button crust, and it goes in a little better. Yep, looks good. Oh, it's gonna be tasty. Barbecuing for about 20 people today, and so I'm gonna give this guy a little test run and see how it's going. I got the like the Blackstone top out, did some mushrooms, some onions, grilled the bun, got the burger ready to go. This is a good tester. I think she's gonna taste good. Get a little bacon on there, cheese. Oof. The Chateau is always better with people in it. Like, it's just a big, beautiful building. All the systems generally handle really well. One of the things that's great is the water pressure, and the cost of water is reasonable in France. And also our hot water tank is incredible. Now, typically in the years past, we've had almost everybody in the Chateau on one big water heater that's very efficient. But then also we have a couple of rooms that were on a separate tank, presumably because our owner didn't want sometimes to have the whole thing working, didn't want to heat up the whole house, but just wanted a couple of rooms. So he took 2 rooms and he sectioned them off and put them on a separate water heater. Well, that water heater failed on the first day of having everybody here. And so we weren't sure exactly what to do. We have an interesting situation. It seems that this water tank is either not producing hot water or producing very little. And so the showers, it's basically connected to 2 of our rooms. And so the showers have been cold in those rooms. And so we got to fix it. We don't know what's exactly wrong. There is power. I've checked that, but yeah, no heat. So maybe the water tank is faulty. Now, I think at some point, perhaps the rest of the house is on the main water, and the main water is super hot and there's lots of it. And I wish this was hooked up. So, one of my friends was asking, hey, could you just hook up to the main water? And I'm thinking, well, yeah, but that's probably a lot of work. Then I started looking and I saw this. What if it almost looks like at some point they disconnected these 2 rooms? You see that little hose going off the side, and maybe the main water was coming in there, and they disconnected and put it on this tank so that they wouldn't have to run the whole house to get hot water in this room, which is possible. So if that's the case, I just hook that back up and everything's perfect. So I'm gonna get up there and see if there's hot water coming out of there. Guys, it's working. It's warm. I think this is it. I think this is the hot water. I'll explain in greater detail what I'm doing here, but this is gonna work, I think. So the water up top is warm, but what about the tank water? Well, let's try the tank water. It's not warm. Oh, it's a little warmer. Now it's lukewarm, but not very warm. Some of you guys are probably like, hey, what are you doing putting water on your floor? You got to realize that these are just tiles over sand. That's all these are in concrete. So you know what we're gonna do? We put the water on the floor, then I'm gonna turn it, and it's just gonna evaporate. It's gonna be all good. Out comes the plumbing bag, some of the big tools and all our adjustments. And now we're gonna try to do this thing. So here's the move. First thing we gotta do is take off. What they've done is let's climb up there and take a look, shall we? Let's take a look. So you can see that this one here has a plug on it. So we gotta take that plug off, and then we gotta try to put these two together. Now it looks like it's fairly loose, so we should be able to move it. But of course, there's probably a bunch of water up there. So as soon as we take that plug out, it's just gonna run down on us for a bit. Now I think I got it blocked off, because we got her blocked off here on this side, and then this water's coming from the tank, and I got that blocked off right here. But there's still a bunch of pipes above us, and there's gonna be water in all those pipes, and it's gonna run down. So here we go. You know, we might have got it, guys. It went back together. I'll zoom in. The pipes went back together, and there's no leaks, and I heard the water running. So we're gonna go upstairs, and we're gonna see if it's hot. That'd be something if that's all it was. A little embarrassing, really. Guys, I just tried out the shower. It's so good. The hot water. Oh my goodness. This was a beautiful bathroom, but kind of the Achilles heel was the fact that the water was never hot, but now it's beautiful and the water is hot. Oh, just delightful. Yeah, what a fantastic solution. Sometimes things just work out. You know, the old pipes were right there. We joined them together, and now the whole house is on the hot water. So that was thrilling. That was thrilling.
Okay, we're in the old kitchen where we're trying to figure out, can we get any of these rust spots off on the floor? So we tried vinegar in one spot over there, and it made the tile clean, but not the rust. So next invention, Coca-Cola. Let's see. Stay tuned. So our last spot where we tried, the bubbles actually started attacking the rust itself. This one, however, although this is Coke Zero, no bubbles have appeared to attack anything, honestly. Isn't it funny also, it goes completely clear. The brown color kind of goes away. It's interesting. Anyways, all right, you ready to rub it? Let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure anything's gonna happen.
No.
No?
No.
Well, the trek continues. Okay, a wee bit of progress. Before and after. Not perfect, but the lines are lighter. Sorry, I'm trying to get the light not in your camera. So, you know, more progress than the other two. So conclusion, it really did make a difference after some good scrubbing. However, this was a tiny little spot. And we officially decided Cinderella needs to come work for us because apparently there's a lot of tile to clean. Looky there. We may have a winner. Okay, test case number 2. This one's fairly bad. Let's see how he does. Okay, nice dusting. Then the magic of bubbly vinegar. Next. Always a cool reaction, makes you feel like you're doing something. All right, stay tuned.
Like it's lifting.
It is. It's turning color. Yeah, you can see the baking soda
Yeah.
change color.
Yeah.
Right, we left it for a while. We're coming to check to see how it did. Oh, it did fade.
It did.
It's not as intense. Still there. But not as obnoxious. No. It is progress. Okay, so that was before. And this is after. So, you know, better. Like considerably, half maybe. Better. Not the magical, you know, answer we're exactly hoping for, considering there's spots like that. But, you know, it did something. So for that, we are happy. So if anybody knows any other good tricks for these kind of old vintage tiles, let us know.
Same old, same old. Had a really heavy rain there for a minute. No big deal. We will get this fixed when we get to a minute. But for now, we'll just sweep the water out. Only once or twice?
Only once or twice this happened.
No, you're good. Yeah,
Before we did the square, and now that we did the square, it's like it's raised up a little. So now it's just like whoosh.
I was gonna get a power shot of you. I was getting a power shot of you squeegeeing.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, here we go.
We can cut it
Yeah.
in.
Nobody's above the manual labor here.
We have extra help today.
Yeah.
Look, it
Can't go for a
flooded.
walk. Got to do an extra workout.
Business professor by day.
Squeegeer by night.
Yeah. Good times. I did break down and make a temporary dam, which actually worked very well. Just a piece of board and then some garbage. And then just a garbage bag with some sand on it. And actually that completely stopped the water. So usually I just don't care, but I thought, probably smarter just to, it took like 2 minutes to put that out. Again, we're gonna take some sand from a high spot, probably over there, a little bit of a high spot, and I'll move it over here, and then we will no longer have an issue. I just came in this room, and boy, that heavy rainfall, the new flood went a little farther than I realized, way the heck over here. Now, I think that's water that came in from under the back, which under the terrace, we do get a little water here. So interesting. There's also other fun things, like I was out mowing the lawn and a couple of the guys from India came out and they were pretty impressed with the old zero-turn mower. They'd never seen one of these guys before, and or I'm not sure if they'd never seen it, but they've certainly never driven it. And so they wondered if they could drive. So I said, sure guys, come on out, you know, have a little drive, and they were having some fun with it. That's great. Yep. We got the guys. That's all right. Yeah. Love it. You know, we're coming up to the end of 2 weeks with these guys in the house, and I am so deeply thankful for so many things. This water heater, this boiler, incredible. Totally handles all the showers we can handle. And then I am just deeply, deeply thankful for this dishwasher. I used it every day for 13 days, I guess, and it worked amazing. It does a good job, you know, it protects us from disease, and it's just fast, it's efficient, and we're so fortunate, so very fortunate to have it. I am thankful to God. And the other thing is the van. Oh my goodness, I'm so thankful for the van. Wow. By the time you watch this video, the chateau will be empty again, pretty much empty again. And so, you know, it's really nice for us. We're gonna have some introvert time, some time just to be the two of us, and to maybe get back to doing some projects, and to, you know, it's little things like when you have people living at your house all the time, sometimes you just wanna put a house robe on and go down and have a coffee, you know, without getting ready or without, you know, being ready to see people. And so we're really quite excited about having that for a few months. Well, thankful for this guy. It's a rental, and we got to rent it for 5 months this year with all our different groups. And so far, no accidents. Everything's good. It's treated us well. In between doing the dishes and working on the meals, I've had a little bit of time to work on some things. I got out and did some hedge, and we mowed the lawn a lot, did some trimming, and it's time to get on the weeds. We have got to double down on those weeds. Yeah, you can see we got our work cut out for us here on the square. Now, Interesting, I mentioned the word Roundup on the last video, and we definitely lost subscribers. People do not like Roundup. Note to self. I don't know, honestly, we're new at this, so we're learning. We've tried the vinegar, salt, we tried Roundup, we've tried the flamethrower, and we're gonna keep seeing what works. But yeah, I don't know. We're interested in the environment, obviously, but it's hard to know how to get the weeds out. Okay, so we're gonna trim this hedge, but Mr. Bingley wants to play the ball. So let's do it, Mr. Bingley, let's go. I'll give him a little throw. And while we're throwing the ball to Bingley, maybe we can have a little conversation about weeds. Now again, this seems to be volatile. People don't like talking about this, but so far I've heard of the three: vinegar, salt, and soap, dish soap. I tried it, and we'll see how it works. And then some people say Roundup, and some people say, no, I don't use Roundup. That's super bad. And then, okay, now don't get mad. This is just what people say. I'm not saying this is good or bad. Some people say use gasoline or diesel. Now, I Googled it, and everybody on the internet goes, don't do that, because you poison the aquifer, and it doesn't break down. Apparently Roundup breaks down after an hour. But I'm kind of thinking, well, I don't actually care if it breaks down, because we don't want stuff to grow back. So that would be okay if this driveway was not able to grow back for a couple of years. That'd be a good thing. But I don't know. Then and again, you know, I guess it's polluting the ground. But I'm kind of thinking, look, we took it out of the ground, gas, and you're putting it back in. So it's I don't know. I get it's not good for people, so we probably won't use gas, but we'll see what we use. The other idea is to burn it off or to use a hoe, which would take forever. We'll try. We'll see what we can figure out. This year has been a year of tremendous growth for a lot of things, but not least of which is the yard. The foliage just keeps coming back. You know, we try to cut it down, we try to control it. It just keeps growing. So it's a fun challenge, and the lawn really is looking pretty terrific, but not without its issues. This is new. Guess we had a bit of a windstorm the other night. Let's get another tree down. Didn't even notice it. It's funny when you have so many trees, you don't notice when one falls down. To say nothing of the trees that are way the heck in the bush. Oh, I wonder how. Oh, look at that! It came down from up there. Wow. That's something. Get the chainsaw out. I realize we haven't done a ton of video lately, so let's do some time-lapse photography. Time-lapse photography, you can enjoy the trimming of the hedges that are way, way, way overgrown. Now we're gonna use some safety here today. I'm wearing gloves. I had a bit of a thing with the hedge trimmer last year, and it scared me enough to wear gloves. So a little bit of safety.
Es war einmal in einem kleinen Städtchen, da lebte ein Mädchen namens Barbara. Und diese Barbara war im ganzen Land für ihren abartig guten Rhabarberkuchen bekannt. Ja, man konnte sagen, dass Barbaras Rhabarberkuchen ohne Wenn und Aber gar eine geradezu magische Erfahrung war. Abracadabra, ja, dieser Kuchen war geradezu bombastisch. Und die Nachfrage danach erstarkte drastisch. Barbara eröffnete noch im selben Jahr eine Bar und nannte sie Barbaras Rhabarberbar. In der Stadt gab es auch ein paar Barbaren, die hatten von Barbaras Rhabarberbar erfahren. Und da sie fortan jeden Tag bei Barbara waren, nannte man sie bald die Rhabarbarbarbaren.
Well, that's a bit more manageable. Now, fear not, it grows back really quick. These grow back really fast, so even if it's not the perfect ball, it will come back. We will be okay. Only a few minutes of work, really. And I guess a few more minutes cleaning up the trimmings. That'll take a minute. So, hard-working man like myself deserves the occasional magnum. And sure enough, Mr. Bingley and I out here working, and so I decided to sneak one. But then what should I see? Oh, the all-watching eye of Leslie. She caught me. She caught me eating the magnum. Oh well, the marriage will survive. All right, Mr. Bingley. Oh, Mr. Bingley says, let's play the ball. Let's play with the ball. Okay, so I can walk under that without ducking. That's how tall that is. And then there's this bush. Wunk. is ridiculous. You know, I cut like 5 feet off it every year. It feels like it just keeps growing. It should be way shorter. Now we got the wedding coming up, so I'm not going to butcher it, but I'm definitely going to cut it back. And then maybe after the wedding we'll butcher it, like put it down to 4 feet and get it back to a normal size. This guy too, this guy's overgrown his boundaries. Boy, everything grows so well this year. Just seems to get bigger and bigger.
Es war einmal in einem kleinen Städtchen, da lebte ein Mädchen namens Barbara. Und diese Barbara war im ganzen Land für ihren abartig guten Rhabarberkuchen bekannt. Ja, man konnte sagen, dass Barbaras Rhabarberkuchen ohne Wenn und Aber gar eine geradezu magische Erfahrung war. Abracadabra! Ja, dieser Kuchen war geradezu bombastisch. Und die Nachfrage danach erstarkte drastisch. Barbara eröffnete noch im selben Jahr eine Bar und nannte sie Barbaras Rhabarberbar. In der Stadt gab es auch ein paar Barbaren, die hatten von Barbaras Rhabarberbar erfahren. Und da sie fortan jeden Tag bei Barbara waren, nannte man sie bald die Rhabarberbarbaren. In den Folgejahren ließen die Barbaren nach und nach ihr barbarisches Gebaren.
That was actually a bit hard. You know, once this wedding's over, we'll try to have it look okay for the wedding. I'm gonna cut half that thing. Like, we're cutting it way down because it does not need to be that tall. And this outside rose bush looks like it's not doing a lot either. Whereas the inside ones are doing nice. And then this guy's a little bit shorter now, more manageable. Yeah, always a job. That's to say nothing of these monstrosities. Pretty soon here we're going to turn it on. We're going to get to the gumdrops.
In den Folgejahren ließen die Barbaren nach und nach ihr barbarisches Gebaren fahren. Sie waren, behauptete Barbara, fast noch sympathischer als Barbarpapa. Aber die Barbaren waren stark behaart und hatten alle einen struppigen Barbarenbart. Ja, nicht apart. Daraufhin schickte Barbara ihre Barbarenfreunde zum Barbarenbartbarbier. Der frisierte den Barbaren sogar den ganzen Kopf in seinem Barbarenbartbarbier Barbershop. Er war zwar ein fürchterlicher Laberkopf, aber der Bart war danach total tipptopp. Darauf luden die Barbaren ihren Bartbarbier fein nach getaner Arbeit noch in die Rhabarberbar ein. Da tranken sie dann gemeinsam an der Bar noch ein Bier, die Rhabarberbarbaren und der Bartbarbier. Und aßen dazu bar jeder...
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Just a little trim. It's nice because we hacked so much off the top. Remember how bad it looked a few months ago? It came back great. So now we can just trim a little bit and make it look great. Now this side was worse. It was more sparse. It was quite sparse. But we'll still take some off and we'll let it keep growing. Okay, you see how thin that is? That's pretty thin. You can see through it. So I'm not going to take much off. We'll clean it up a little bit, but not much, because we want this to keep thickening.
Gemeinsam an der Bar noch ein Bier, die Rhabarberbarbaren und der Bartbarbier. Und aßen dazu bar jeder Barbarei ein Stück Rhabarberkuchen. Ich glaube, es waren 2. Ja, da wurden sogar ganz harte Männer nahbar. Und das alles dank Barbaras Rhabarber. 3 Barbaren und der Bartbarbier saßen eines Abends an der Bar bei einem Bier. Da kam die Polizei, ja, wo wart denn ihr? 3 Barbaren und der Bartbarbier.
Well, that's not great yet, but that could be worse for sure. It looks tidy at least. We'll let it grow in a little bit before the wedding. You know, I should keep going, but man, I'm tired. This hedge trimming, got to hold those muscles out there. It's heavy. Hey, Mr. Bingley. You playing dead?
Funny guy.
You being a funny guy?
Yeah, you are. Are you a funny boy?
Okay, let's see that. Let's see that roll on the ball. Come on, give it to us once.
It's like he's eating food. Pause.
It's like he's teething. Flossing.
Oh, he's juggling.
Mr. Bingley's all dirty from running around outside. God love him.
You're a funny
What
guy.
you doing, Bingley? Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, no, he's gonna roll on it. Will he roll on it? No, he's like, ah. Oh, he's not gonna roll on it. Guys, the group just left, and I had 2 hours in the chateau completely by myself. Heaven. It's like being in heaven. The gentle air, the quietness, the peace, nobody asking me where a certain food is or if they can do this. No one telling me that there's a puddle of water coming from somewhere, or that their sink is leaking, or that their bed needs work, or that they blew the power in a different room. Nobody to chase to bed at night. No reason to wake up early and get things out for people. Boy, it is relaxing, and I am very much enjoying it. It's a really cool look. It's nighttime. And maybe it's the angle of the sun. But I just thought it looked really good. On the back too, look at the shadows. The way the sun's hitting the house. The way the sun's hitting the trees. It's really cool. Lawn is nice and green for July.
All right, we're in Angers, and guess what the first idea is? We got the van, we're in the city. We have a lot of laundry, guys. There was a lot of people at the house, and we're trying something new. We have all the duvet covers, all of the pillowcases, you name it, we got it. So we're gonna try and see if a dry cleaner here will wash and iron these, so whenever we have a really fast turnaround, it won't be us scrambling. So let's see how it goes. All right, we're at the dry cleaner. We'll see what they have to say.
So we realized we were maybe in trouble with the fact that it was just Leslie and I and this whole big group coming, and so we kind of made an appeal to some of our old friends that have been cooks with us. Said, hey, and some of our old students say, does anybody want to come out and help us for a couple of weeks? And to our great delight, our friend Kathy Friesen from Manitoba, Steinbach, Manitoba, came out to help us. Now, that has been fantastic, and so she's been a huge help. And it's just fun to be around her for a couple of weeks too. Her husband Tim couldn't make it; he's working still, but we got Kathy at least, which is great. And because of that, because we were so thankful, we thought, man, we've got to take her out to some decent restaurants and to enjoy some meals. So we did.
Right? Yes.
The hardworking staff going out for a lovely meal. We're starting with the amuse-bouche. What is amuse-bouche? Do you know what is it this time? Peas? No,
petit pois, yeah.
with little peas. And what was, is it, did she say duck? No, chev. Goat cheese. Looks like a beet. Well, we'll see. Appetizer is out. Did you hear what it was? Did you catch it? Looks like bacon.
Oh, I was listening for yours.
Bacon and...
eggs.
Oh, eggs. Bacon and eggs. Yes.
Very cool.
Score. Score. And then how about you guys? What do you have? I'll zoom out and I'll come in over here.
White asparagus with shrimp.
Well, that looks good too.
Something else.
Wow, great. Yum. We have the main course, duck, and also fish. Here we go. It's like a little.
She kept saying Madagascar vanilla.
We're not sure exactly. We got chocolate. And what do you think it is? And what are these? Is it apple and pear?
Madagascar vanilla.
Yeah.
Beans and pear and apple.
We're fascinated. Here we go.
Cool.
Great. What is this one called?
La bourgeoise.
La bourgeoise, notre idée, our idea of bourgeois. And then yours?
It's a lemon raspberry.
Tiramisu. Yeah, yum.
Yum.
I know that was a nice restaurant, and I know that, you're watching the video and you think, boy, that food looks expensive. Pretty good deals in France, number one, but also number two, I mean, having these folks come and stay at the Chateau really helps the organization. So we figured it was only fair that the organization at least give a little thank you dinner. Now, we've had several conversations with Mr. Bingley about being kind to all the animals, but he doesn't like mice, he doesn't like lizards, he barks at them, and birds, and he's looking for one, and he can't see him, but the lizard's over here, and the lizard's playing cool. Oh, there he is. Hopefully the lizard will run away. Whoa, no, Bingley, oh, stop it. Oh, Mr. Bingley, let him go. Hey. Back in the United States, our kids are still living their best life, and it's fun. We got some messages from Amy. She was leading a camp for, I think they had 300 middle school students. The churches attract a lot of young people in the United States. And so Amy, as you know, is a halftime worship leader and halftime youth director at her church. And so she was leading worship for that. And she sent us a video. I'll play it for you. It's pretty fun. Yeah, Americans do a nice job, don't they, on the Americans do a nice job on the production value when it comes to anything, but religion, included. Okay, so this is going to be great. This is a first for the Chateau, something new. Now, if you watch our videos, you know that about a month ago, we had our banquet with our students. Always a beautiful night. We start off and we have appetizers and we go into the grand salon. And then this year we did something special. We had our friends John and Marion, who are neighbors here in Echemirais. And we were able to bring him in to play some beautiful piano for our students, and they loved it. And so we were talking after, and I said, hey, you should do a concert at the Chateau sometime. And he said, sure enough. And so sure enough, we're going to do it. We're going to have an evening, I think in about 2 weeks. And if anybody's in the area, you're very welcome to come and join us. I think we'll have room for 40 or 50 people probably. It's good to support our local musicians, and Leslie and I are thrilled to be able to do that and to help our friends out like that. And so, yeah, if you're around, come join us. Guys, thanks for coming along with us. Sorry we've been doing the short videos. It's just been such a busy season, but we will get back to doing longer videos and having more time to work on projects. I'm kind of hoping in the month between when these guys leave and when we go back for Amy's wedding, I'm kind of hoping we can try to do our main bedroom, like our bedroom ensuite, because our bathroom is not very good, and for quite a while we've wanted to improve it, and I think we're gonna hopefully get in there this summer. Thanks for coming along, and have a great week wherever you're at.